Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie. I'm a BSN RN, and on this channel I talk a lot about nursing, beauty and hygiene. If that is something that you're very much interested, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing to this family. In this video, I'm going to be telling you all everything you need to know about smelling good, clean and fresh all day long. Stay tuned. First things first, everyone has a natural smell. Everyone has a natural odor. There is no need for us to pretend that, oh, we need to smell very fancy, very beautiful, very floral, maybe very coconutty, fruity. We all do have a natural smell, and you do not need to beat yourself to think that, oh, because some other person is smelling nice, then why are you not smelling the way they do? I want you to know that you, me, and everyone else there has a natural odor. This natural smell is only a call for concern when it doesn't smell as it should naturally smell, as you have been accustomed to know it. Now, if you feel like you're beginning to get like some fishy odor, then that is a telltale sign that you need to be rushing to the hospital. That is a telltale sign that you need to go and check it up, or visit your doctor, because a fishy smell might be some bacterial infection, a fishy smell can be some fungal infection, a fishy smell in some cases might be some STDs. Yes, I also understand that a fishy smell might also be cause of dehydration, but again, if you should think that your smell smells abnormal from what you normally know it to smell, just make sure that you're going to the doctors. I know that so many people do not like their natural smell, and so they tend to mask this smell with perfumes and scented lotions and scented or perfume products. I want to say this: if you're someone who is always putting on scented products, perfumes and things that mask your natural body odor, it is not a good practice, because when you are putting on all these good scented things, they are actually masking your natural scent. And if for any reason you start having that fishy odor, which is a telltale sign for a sickness or something happening to your body, you won't be able to notice it. So too much of scented products usually or most at times will mask these fishy odors, which should be telling us that something is wrong with our body. The next thing I want to say is, please make sure that you're keeping your downstairs downstairs you're keeping it dry. Let's say you go to the gym, or you are exercising, or you're doing house chores and you get sweaty. Make sure that immediately you're finished with that task, immediately you're finished with that exercise, please do go take a shower, and always make sure that after you get out of the shower, you're keeping your private part dry, just so that it is not giving a moisture condition for bacteria to actually grow down there. Stop. After taking your shower, make sure that when you're putting on an underwear, it should be a cotton underwear. Cotton underwears are known to give the lady part some breathing room. You wouldn't want to give the good bacteria down there a suffocating environment. So it is very advisable to always make sure you're using cotton underwears. I would advise against silk underwears because they are tight. They do not give breathing room for your lady part to kind of feel free. So always opt for a cotton underwear. Another thing about our underwears is this: new underwears do not mean that those underwears are clean, because when you get them from the store, you do not know where those underwears have come from, maybe from the storage facility. You do not know who has been touching those underwears, and yet in some cases, some people even try on some underwears. So I want to urge you that new underwear doesn't mean that it is clean. I, for one, whenever I buy a new underwear, after tearing off the price tag and all of that, I always like to throw it in the dryer, just so that heat is going to deactivate any bacteria or any germs or anything that could infect me. I know some people will go to the extent of washing the underwears before they put them on, but in my case, yes, sometimes I might do that, but if I'm just being lazy, I can just throw it into the dryer and let the heat do the thing. My next thing is also going to be panty liners. As ladies, we know that our lady part is kind of open, and so because there is that opening down there, there are things that come out during the day. Because there's always stuff that is coming out of our lady part, I always like to go for panty liners. I know some people will say panty liners kind of like, lock up the lady part from breathing because of the air that should be coming in there. But because of that thing that is always coming out of the lady part, I always feel that it is more hygienic to use panty liners Like these ones are thin panty liners. You just put it on the lining or the part of the underwear that goes close to your lady pad, so that in this way, when you're going about your daily activity, everything that is coming out is being trapped onto the panty liner. I know that most of us use panty liners, but if for some reason you have never thought of using a panty liner or you feel like it is not hygienic, let me explain something to you. To me, I feel that when you use a panty liner, so this is what it looks like. You just open it up, and then when you peel this off, it's kind of sticky. You just stick this to the cotton part of the underwear. I, for one, always love carrying extras of this panty liner because during the course of the day, those discharges that are coming out, normal, nothing to be ashamed of, when they are trapped on this panty liner, I always like to just go change it, just take off the old one, throw it and put on a new one. In that way, whatever has been trapped in the previous panty liner is being discharged, and then you're putting on a new one, and then that gives you a clean, new, fresh scent to carry off throughout that day. So I always advise my friends, like, always make sure you're having a panty liner, and always make sure that you're carrying extras in your purse, in your bag, or wherever you're going to. This is kind of optional, but I always opt for using probiotics. Probiotics are actually kind of capsules that have active, live billions or millions of bacteria just to help our lady pad down there to function as normal. Now, if you do not know, our lady pads have their own natural bacteria that actually help to keep the environment healthy and clean. Another thing you should know is that our vagina is self-cleaning. It is self-cleaning because these bacteria that live there naturally and do not cause like disease processes or that do not cause offensive smells are there to help us, stay healthy and help us stay clean. So in taking these probiotics, you're actually boosting the number of bacteria down there that are helping to keep your body lady pad clean. If for any reason you think that taking probiotics might be too much, you can also go ahead and take cranberry supplements. You can also go ahead and take cranberry juice. You can also go ahead and take probiotic yogurt in the store. Those are also means through which you can actively get more of these good bacteria in your system. These good bacteria in the lady pad actually help in keeping the pH balance neutral. It helps in fighting the odor down there, as well as cleaning the lady pad. I know that sometimes we love what we eat and we like what we eat, but in the case of wanting to smell good all day, you have to pay close attention to what you eat. If you eat pineapple, you smell like a pineapple. If you eat oranges, you smell like oranges. And yes, if we eat too much of those processed food or junk food, guess what? We will smell like them. So I want to advise that we should be eating healthy. Eat lots of your fruits and vegetables, drink lots of water. If smelling good is something that you are really going for, then you have to watch what you eat. Next thing on the list is actually hydrating yourself. Yes, I know I am actually guilty of hydration because I am one of those people who fights in making sure that I keep up with the amount of water to drink each day. And so one thing that I've found that helps me a lot is using water flavorings. Now you can go to the store, Walmart or whichever store that is next to you or closest to you. There's so many water flavorings there. I'm talking like watermelon, strawberries, cranberries. Like there's a lot of flavors to choose from. If you are one of those people who is actually fighting from drinking water, I can tell you that water flavorings will actually help to encourage or to boost your appetite, so to speak, in drinking water. Another good thing about hydrating your body is that when you drink lots of water, it actually helps to flush out all the toxins out of your system. If you have noticed, if you don't tend to drink so much water in the day, your pee or the color of your urine is more orange and amber. And if you have noticed, the smell is kind of very strong and very nitrous and very pungent. But if you're somebody who is always hydrating, meaning you drink lots of water, the color of your pee is very light, and in most cases it doesn't have a smell. And so if smelling all day is a priority to you, I will urge that you hydrate yourself as often as you can. And another addition to that, if you really do not want to buy these water flavorings, you can actually just squeeze in some lemon or some lime in your water, as this will also help to detoxify your body. Also, there is so much to say about soda, coffee and all the colored water and all the all the fancy drinks that we drink out there. I for one would say, if you tend to drink lots of alcohol, coffee, soda, in general colored drinks, always make sure you're following it up with lots and lots of water, lots and lots of hydration. The key point here is just hydrate yourself as much as you can. The goal here is for you to drink 8 cups at least a day, but if for some reason you cannot do up to that, like myself, I always push for maybe 4 or 6 cups in a day, and to me I feel like I'm still good to go. Some people even go as far as using boric acid suppository. I am not very conversant with that. I would not advise against it, neither would I advise for it, because I feel that our bodies are self-cleansing, especially the vagina, and so there is no need for us to be inserting all sorts of things into the body. I just see all the boric suppositories and all the things people are saying out there to use down there as marketing strategies. Everyone is looking for a way to make some extra bucks, and so if you don't feel comfortable in using extra things down there, please just stay away from it, because the more you introduce foreign things into the body, which maybe do not have some scientific backing to prove or to back up the claims that they are saying, I would not advise that you should go for it. Again, I do not do any other thing apart from probiotics and sometimes supplements, but aside from that, I don't do any other thing. And I can tell you, I've been very clean, and I feel like my lady pad is always very clean. The next thing is going to be, please ladies, when you are on your period, always cultivate the habit of changing often. If you are the person who is accustomed to using tampons, maximum time you can use a tampon is actually 8 hours. When it is getting to the 7-8 hour range, please always make sure that you are either taking out that tampon or you are changing it, just because this can lead to a toxic shock syndrome. Now, I know that tampon can be very, very uncomfortable for so many ladies out there, but if you are someone who doesn't do with it, you are still totally fine. If you are just using the regular pads, please always make sure that you are changing it, because look at it this way, you and I know that that thing smells, it stinks, and so it wouldn't make sense for you to carry it all day. If you want to smell fresh and good, the trick, the secret is to make sure that when you are on your period, change your pad as often as you can. Also, make sure you're showering at least twice a day. When you shower in the morning, you put on a fresh tampon, you put on a fresh pad, you go throughout that day, maybe by the 8th hour, you change off your tampon. If the pad is already wet as well, you can also go ahead and change it at that time. And then towards the evening before you go to bed, please always make sure that you shower again, you change the tampon and you change your pad. In that way, you are not carrying that smell of the menstrual blood, which actually stinks all along with you. Because I actually know that some women's menstrual blood can actually smell and ooze out to project even when they are in the midst of people. So to avoid that kind of embarrassment, please make sure that you're changing your tampons and your pad, and if possible, when you're changing them, try to wash down there, just so that you're giving it a fresh and clean smell for the rest of the day. The next thing on the list is please make sure you're shaving your private parts. I'm talking about your underarms, I'm talking about your lady parts. A trick to shaving is, please make sure you're shaving in the direction in which your hair is growing. In this case, you will be avoiding dark undercolored arms. If you notice that your hair grows downwards, please make sure that when you're in the shower, you're actually shaving yourself downward. Same thing down there. If you notice that it is growing downward, please make sure you're shaving in the direction of the growth of the hair. And with that said, please, I always advise for an antiperspirant. Now, most people say that, and I do agree, that it is normal for the body to sweat. But let me explain to you what actually causes body odor from the underarm. When you sweat, there is some natural bacteria in the underarm. These natural bacteria actually come in place to break down the sweat molecules, which releases some pheromones which actually give out that body odor. And so I always think that if you want to fight against body odor, especially from the underarm, you should always think of going for an antiperspirant. Some people like the feel of sweating because they feel that the body is doing what it is supposed to do. I particularly do not like when I feel my underarm wet, and so I always go for an antiperspirant. This will prevent me from sweating, and this also keeps me from not having the body odor under my arm. I have actually tried so many antiperspirants, and I know this is a very controversial topic. So many people out there say that aluminum actually causes cancer, but yet I would say that aluminum is the key factor to stopping or preventing you from sweating. If you see, most antiperspirants will always have aluminum, and most that are just the deodorants don't have aluminum. So it's going to be up to you to choose or to decide if you want to sweat but not smell, then go ahead for the deodorant. But if you don't want to sweat but you still want to smell clean, then you can go for an antiperspirant with a special kind of aluminum. I have found that when I get an antiperspirant that has aluminium, zirconium, tetrachlorohydrex, this is a major component that actually keeps me from sweating. You have to pay very close attention to the aluminum because there is aluminum, zirconium, octachlorohydrates. That one will still make you sweat. But I noticed that when I get the aluminum, zirconium, tetrachlorohydrates, that actually kind of stops me or prevents me from sweating. So if you want to prevent body odor under your underarm especially, please make sure that you're grabbing an aluminum antiperspirant, and make sure to watch out for aluminum, zirconium, tetrachlorohydrex on the back of the label. It is very obvious that the biggest thing to making sure that we are fighting body odor and making sure also that we are smelling good and clean all day is a very good shower routine. I'm talking about what you actually do when in the shower. In my case, I actually have kind of like a 3-step or sometimes a 4-step when I'm taking my shower. But I would say that this is not something that I do every day just because it kind of takes time. But I'm going to explain to you what my shower routine is. On a day when I say, okay, today is my spa day, that means I have to do everything on my shower routine. The very first thing I do when I get into the shower and I, kind of wet my entire body, I actually get a washcloth and I use a bar soap. You can get whatever bar soap you want, but I love using the Dove bar soap because this soap lathers so good. It kind of foams so good and so much that when you wash your entire body, you really, really feel clean. Now, when you wet the towel, you kind of like rub the bar soap all over the towel and you wash every part of your body. I'm talking the inside ear, the back ear especially. You're washing your legs, every entire part of your hand, in between your hands. You're washing your underarm, your under breast. Always make sure you're lifting it up because that is also some place where kind of like sweat that we also perspire for we ladies. Wash every entire part of your body. When every part has been washed and kind of has the lather on it, make sure that you rinse it at this point. After using the bar soap and the washcloth, the next thing on my list is actually exfoliating my skin. Ladies, look, if you are not exfoliating your skin, then you're not doing your body good. I am telling a good exfoliating from head to toe. There are very affordable options of body scrubs out there in the store. You can actually go for the Tree Hut, which is more so of a sugar scrub base, and this one, the grains are they are kind of bigger and I feel like they do a good job. Or you can go for Dove's exfoliating body polish. I can tell you that this doesn't exfoliate your skin as good as the Tree Hut body scrub would do because this doesn't have like those particles or grains that would actually scrub off or peel off, so to speak, in a gentle way, the dead skin cells to reveal the new vibrating skin under the old one. And so what I do is I always use the 3 hot, and then I kind of follow it up on another day with the Dove exfoliating body polish. This actually has a very soothing, nice, pampering feel to the skin, but again, I feel like it doesn't do a good job as a sugar-based body scrub will do. If you're someone who prefers using like scented exfoliating scrubs, you can actually opt for the Bath and Body Works option or other options out there. I particularly found out that Bath and Body Works has 2 types. They have the sugar type as well as the sea salt. Now, if you do not know what the sea salt options are, these are 2 sea salt Bath and Body Works body scrubs that I really love. I prefer the sea salt scrub to the sugar scrub because I feel that this is very fine and it does a better job as opposed to the sugar, because the grains of the sugar kind of like are just, I feel like they're just scratching your skin, as opposed to this kind of like peeling off and doing an excellent job. So I would say just pick your poison. If you feel that you want to go for the sugar scrub, which is actually the cheaper option, you can actually pick that up. But if you want something that will make your skin feel really smooth and pampering, as well as do an excellent job, I would advise that you should pick up a sea salt scrub from Bath and Body Works. After I've exfoliated my body, I always follow that up with a good body wash and an exfoliating glove. I just put on my exfoliating glove and I put a generous amount of body wash and I scrub my skin again. Now, I'm not going to be as harsh as I should be with the exfoliating gloves, because guess what? The exfoliating scrub has already done the trick of, taking off the dead skin. I particularly love the Dove and Ole brand because I have noticed that it leaves a very gentle, moisturizing feel to your skin, especially after you've rinsed it off of your body. The next step to my shower routine is actually using a rinse off body conditioner. This is actually optional, but I love the extra feel that this gives to me because it makes me feel very clean, it makes me feel pampered, makes me feel like having a very luxurious treat to myself. So what I do is I just pour this on my, or kind of like I scoop it on my hand and I rub it off on my entire body. Then I leave it on my skin for like 3 to 5 minutes and then I rinse it off. I feel very revived when I use this rinse off body conditioner. It doesn't give any extra thing to the body, but I just love the way it makes me feel whenever I use this body conditioner. The next thing on my list is kind of controversial, but again, this is what I do, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you can always skip this out. But this is using my Baby Dove Sensitive Skincare Hypoallergenic Wash on my lady part. So what I do is I just wash. I use this baby cloth because it is soft and it is gentle to the, to my lady part. So I just make sure that I wet it real good and then I put a generous amount of this wash on the washcloth and then I wash sort of like the lips of my lady part. Remember, I did not say to insert it into your lady part, just wash the outer lip of your lady part. I know that so many people are going to come at me to say that, hey, that is not hygienic, hey, that is not correct to do that. But hey, again, I'm just telling you what I do and I haven't gotten any repercussion or any negative, clap back from it, so to speak. And so this is what I always use to wash my lady part, and that gives me an extra clean down there. There is a reason why I always like doing this last, because in my head I feel like when I'm showering and when I'm rinsing off, everything is coming down there. So some kind of like soap water lather is going down there, and so I always say that whenever I rinse it off, then I will follow it up with my my lady part body wash, and then I kind of do a very good clean job down there. Some people say that they actually do this first step before they actually wash their body, but I feel like this should be the last step, just so that after you've washed it, there's nothing rinsing off and trickling down there. If there's any other thing that I skipped off which makes part of your own shower routine, or one of the things that you do to keep yourself clean and smelling good all day, please drop it in the comment section and I'll be sure to include it in my shower routine, and I'll come back to tell you all how I feel about that extra step. If you have enjoyed this video and the steps and things to do in order to keep yourself smelling clean and fresh every day, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing to this channel where we talk so much more of topics like this. From me to you, I want to say thank you. Until my next one, I'll see you then. Bye guys.